Win it, folks.
Looks like they're in it.
Let's go ahead and join them.
Jumping into the game here. So, Pilliwinks coming in with a pretty standard zoo looking type deck starting off very strong. One of the most consistent, again, as I said, one of the most consistent, most resilient decks that have ever existed in the game of Hearthstone.
Hey, that's how I got to rank 12 last month.
It's not a bad way to go. Very solid hand, good curve for him. Looks like Tyberius playing Priest. The Convert is a really interesting choice, as well as the Lightwell. So this could mean that Tyberius is going for the OTK combo, because that's a very cheap Priest deck to build. You just buff up the toughness on your guy, and then so the Holy Inner Fire, and I forgot the other card.
For those of you viewing at home and are a little unfamiliar, OTK stands for One Turn Kill.
So yeah, he's going to basically, if that's the deck that he's going for, he's going to be basically going to buff up as much as he possibly can on one high health guy, and then converting the health or the attack into the same value as the health, and then one-shotting his opponent. Very good play from Tyberius, having the Shadow Word Pain for the Ink Boss. Ink Boss, one of the most sticky and annoying minions to ever deal with. I love playing it, but I love playing Zoo. But yeah, it's one of the most annoying minions to ever have to deal with. Good on him for having the second Pain and the Convert. I see why he's playing it now. So now he's going to have his own Ink Boss, and he's got Tyberius has a Power Word Shield in his hand. So that Ink Boss is going to get some value here.
So even with the one turn kill deck, Tyberius seems to already have answers for a heavily aggro, Warlock or Shaman. He's able to grab a couple of key cards from his opponent, because if he didn't grab Imp Gang Boss, he might have grabbed Knife Juggler. He might have grabbed Flame Juggler.
And actually, I think that probably the best. I think Imp Gang Boss is probably one of the best things you can take with Convert. It looks like it is going to be. We haven't seen the cards, the two cards that are indicative of that OTK Priest, but it does look like that's how it's going to be playing out. He did Power Word Shield on his Light Spawn, so he's going to buff that up to make it a 7/7. So we'll have to see kind of how Pilliwinks decide he wants to go about these trades. He can potentially get 4 juggles here if he goes Wolf, or he could get 5 juggles if he goes just straight on the. Oh. Something happened here.
Yeah, it looks like the technical difficulties are showing up again. Unfortunately, Blizzard has not come out with a steady client just yet.
Well, it looks like what he decided to do is he decided to play out the rest of his hand instead of the Forbidden Ritual. So he was able to get a few juggles in there. He was able to take down the Light Spawn, or sorry, the Light Well. And it looks like the choice here is going to be Northshire Cleric, heal, draw a card, and then play. It looks like probably the Imp King Boss. Not a bad play. Ooh, Circle Healing. Okay.
Circle Healing.
So the trade here is going to be
interesting.
Okay, so the Knife Juggler usually is one thing you just want to kill straight away. That now turns off Forbidden Ritual juggles, and next turn would be huge for Forbidden Ritual juggles. Pilliwinks decided to do a lot of trading. Imp King Boss is going to be huge here. Then he's going to just go Circle Healing. He loses no value here. He's not healing any of his opponent's minions. He's just getting a 7/7 and drawing more cards. Interesting, yeah, but this is very interesting that we haven't seen. We haven't seen any OTK cards yet. So far it looks like just a pretty standard Priest deck. But
it seems to be working.
It seems to be doing all right. Unfortunately, the Sea Giant is going to be really hard to deal with. So Tiberius needs to draw kind of like a Death. Or something like that. His 7/7 is going to go down here very quickly, and the Northshire Cleric is going to go not down at all. Very interesting choice to not trade into the Northshire Cleric there. Yeah, I don't know. There's potential for lots of drawing cards right now. So Tiberius can go 1/3 into the 2/1, 2/4 into the 2/2 into the Wolf, and then he can heal up. Because he has 2 different heal outlets. He has his Hero Power and Flash Heal to draw a bunch of cards. It looks like he is actually kind of worried about that Sea Giant, so he may be trying to go Hawkeye Soul Priest, Flash Heal, Hero Power to kill the Sea Giant, which is probably the right play. And then trade in the 1/3 into the Sea Giant as well.
I don't know if trading the 1/3 into the Sea Giant would be beneficial because he's gonna be looking for options.
He's gonna take damage here. I think basically because of Pilliwinks' last play to just go face instead of trading again to the Northshire Cleric, I think we're gonna basically see straight attack, hit in the face, hit him for 10, kill him. If Pilliwinks or Tiberius doesn't deal with this Sea Giant here, and there's going to be a Defender of Argus coming down for sure. This is absolutely just insane. Like, Defender of Argus makes it so that Tiberius has to trade a lot more ineffectively than he wants to. It also puts, it basically makes it so now Tiberius has to trade his whole board into the
9/9.
into the 9/9 and actually taking out the 1/3 to prevent that from happening. Best play he could possibly do. Now, he doesn't know that Tiberius is holding Auchenai Flash Heal, which is going to definitely be able to do enough work against the Sea Giant to take it out. And then he's just going to probably hero power down the 3/2 if I had to guess. Yeah, there we go. He's going to hero power down the 3/2 and then just get a clean trade on the board. So now establishing himself a board presence, and Pilliwinks kind of stuck in the same position we saw him in the last round, where he's got double Forbidden Ritual in hand. He doesn't really have a lot to work with in terms of, you know, any value he can gain from it. He unfortunately had to dump 8 mana into 7 guys worth, 7 1/1s. So
I'm surprised he didn't draw first.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, was probably the right play. Would have been to tap first and then see where you are, because you may end up drawing something like, you know, Knife Juggler. You may end up drawing a Darkshire Councilman. All things that at that point you're probably fine playing. You're absolutely fine playing Forbidden Ritual on the next turn alongside whatever you drew if you drew a good card. We'll have to see what he would have drawn here if he would have tapped. He would have drawn a Knife Juggler, so actually he should have tapped. It would have been awesome. He's now staring down a Thaurissan, a Soul Priest. He's staring down a lot of really tough to deal with minions, to be entirely honest. He is going to buff up a good portion of his dudes. He's probably going to go ahead and just Soulfire. No, he's going to go for the face. Oh, he's going to go for the kill. Just Soulfire. Duh.
Yep.
Okay.
That's one of the things I like about playing decks like Aggro Warlock is sometimes you don't necessarily know if you have lethal until you
tap.
Well, not even tap, but if you just count what you have on the board and what you have in your hand and go, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, there's lethal.
You know, and you get the little cartoon image of, you know, the gears turning, and then you go, oh wait a minute, I have exactly what I need to kill this man.
The interesting thing too is that in the early game, so I'm not the one who coined this, but I wholeheartedly agree with it. So Trump, Hearthstone guy,
the player, not the politician.
The player, not the politician. Trump, back in the day, he always would say that Warlock Zoo is actually a control deck.
Warlock Zoo is actually
a control deck. And I wholeheartedly agree with him on that. It is not a hand-based control deck, it is a board-based control deck. You are basically always looking to trade favorably, outvalue your opponent, and control as much as you possibly can. You control the flow of the game. Eventually you find a point where you have to go, where you just go face because you're just going to win, but it is usually always very control-oriented. So yeah, I agree with that. A lot of people don't agree with that statement.
And Face Hunter, the way Face Hunter plays is a lot more actual aggressive because you don't care if your minions die.
Right, exactly.
With Warlock, you have to throw your minions away carefully because you're hurting yourself every time you draw.
Right, and throwing away your minions, you're basically the deck is designed to have a lot of favorable trades. So your minions are either sticky or they're very resilient minions. So there's always a lot of easy trades there. Interesting going into this next game though, Priest versus Tiberius running back the Priest again versus the Aggro Shaman. We saw a really good exchange there early game, taking out the Northshire Cleric for free from Pilliwinks. So that's great there. Double pain from Tiberius, so he's got some options of where he wants to do what he wants to do here. He can only do 1 pain this turn, which is kind of unfortunate. Or his other option is to go and run. Yeah, Pilliwinks won last game. Yeah. So he's deciding here to run his Northshire Cleric, his Acolyte of Pain into the 2/2, and then he's gonna probably. I would hope that he just heals his guy here. Maybe. No, 5/5.
I'm surprised that he's saving his Holy Nova.
I mean, I think he's probably setting up for a big Holy Nova. I think he's probably hoping that Pilliwinks trades out his 1/1 to Argent Squire into the Acolyte of Pain, and now he's gonna actually just get a very good Holy Nova. He's probably gonna go in Shadow Word Pain. He just drew an Akanai Soul Priest. Never mind, the board's clear. The board is clear. Akanai Soul Priest, Circle of Healing is a clear, and that's absolutely the choice here. Like, there's no other play that makes sense on 4 mana right now. He can't. It's not worth it to single target to just kill the 2/3 and then heal and then try to Holy Nova next turn. Okay. No.
Thankfully, he's not listening to us talk, so
Yeah,
he doesn't
right.
necessarily know
He doesn't know what's going on.
Well, and he doesn't know.
And
that
he's just gonna
Pilliwinks-
heal himself and end his turn.
Maybe saving that.
So I think in the case of if you're gonna just heal, if you're just gonna hero power, you might as well just pain the 2/3. The 2/3 is not gonna die to Holy Nova, so you might as well just deal with it now and then Holy Nova on your next turn and wipe his board. Now he's dealt in a 5/5. He's gonna. I mean, he took a risk with taking some damage there, but he's going to be able to. Luckily, he drew the flash heal. He luckily drew the flash shield to be able to at least take down this 5/5. If he decides to do that, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't know that his opponent's got burn in his hand to deal with the Akanai Soul Priest, and he's kind of gonna get punished right now for not taking the opportunity to just flash heal and kill the 5/1 while he had the chance. And he doesn't have another healing deals damage type effect currently right now, so he's in a rough spot. I mean, Entomb's gonna deal with the 1/5/5, but he's still gonna take in 5 next turn. He can't paint it. He doesn't have a death currently, and his opponent's gonna drop the Dr. 7 and hero power and just bash him. Like, there's very little that can be actually done here. Oh, he drew the Akanai. It's not gonna be enough.
It's not gonna be enough.
A little bit too late. I mean, he's gonna be shy. So on board, if he Akanai hero powers down the 5/1,
He would need.
he's not dead on board. But this is probably actually the better play. He is gonna go to 13, which is gonna put. Actually, it doesn't actually matter. He actually needed a flash heal there. He needed a flash heal to put himself out of the range of actually what's in Pilliwinks' hand. Yeah, if he had flash shield, he would have been at 16. He'd probably be at about 3 right now. So yeah, that's kind of how it falls. And then next turn he just goes Pain, Akanai, flash heal, or he wouldn't have flash heal. Pain, Akanai. I don't know. Yeah, he was kind of in a rough spot there.
Well, and I think what we may do is kind of talk to Tiberius after the game. Just say, hey, by the way, that Circle of Healing, Circle of Death really was the beneficial play that would have, kind of saved your bacon there.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. I'm curious at what his thought process was. Now, interesting, Paladin versus Mage. Pilliwinks having a couple of decent starting cards, not drawing into the best, but he has a decent curve. He's hoping to draw into some spells. Paladin side of things, though, it looks like Tiberius is playing a potential aggro Paladin
With some very expensive cards.
Yeah, well, that's the top end of your curve. You don't go higher than like usually with the aggro Paladin, you don't go higher than 4, maybe 5 at most. The other potential deck that he could be playing is Secret Paladin, which I'm a big advocate of this deck. So
I thought Secret Paladin fell off after New Gods
Old
Gods.
It did fall off for a while after rotation, and then it just didn't. There was one guy who I saw, I forget his name, I saw him on Hearthstone. He posted a list of him getting to Legend with it, and I've been playing it. I've been playing it online on ladder, and it's Dr. 6 is still as powerful as he was. He feels as powerful as he was back in the day. Yes, you lost Avenge. So what?
Okay.
I initially thought that Secret Paladin was going to be just a straight dead deck completely because you lost Avenge, and that's the best secret. And I'm very happy to be wrong. Very, very happy to be wrong there because.
Well, we lost Avenge, but did we gain?
We gained no valuable secrets. We only play 4 secrets in the deck.
Right.
Interestingly enough. But it's still very powerful. Usually that deck, though, I don't think plays the Seal of Champions, so this could just be very much a straight aggro-style Paladin deck here. Pilliwinks having the double Summoner, or Sorcerer's Apprentice, I'm sorry. Really solid. His spells, his singular actual spell in his hand costs 0. It only costs 1. He's gonna get, but it looks like Tiberius is gonna get a really good trade here. At least with one of the apprentices, and then no matter what, he's gonna have a solid trade next turn as well. Pilliwinks holding his big 6 mana cards in his hand. He's gonna drop Thorson, and then he's going to probably just take out that 2/2. It's fine play. Thorson's gonna get some good discounts right now. 3, 4, 5, 5. So yeah. I mean, he's getting decent discounts. Next turn.
Especially with the Faceless Summoner. I had someone describe that to me as the card that will save your sorry butt in a mage deck.
It can. It absolutely can. Now, here's a very, very good trade coming up here. So he's going to go Divine Shield or Seal of Champions Rallying Blade to get a free trade on Thorson, and then just get 3 damage in on the face, maybe?
Well, and leaving the 6/2 on the board that has to be answered.
And unfortunately for Pilliwinks, he doesn't have any burn or any damage in his hand. He's just kind of gotten a bad draw. A lot of the spells are still in the deck. But he's going to go in Faceless Summoner. He's going to roll the dice and see what he gets. And that's not a terrible one to get. Not quite what he was looking for.
Yeah, because the Rallying Blade will take that out without it.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen here, we're going to see probably another Seal of Champions to be able to at least get a free trade. Oh no, I forgot. Yeah, no, he can just blessing. Oh, he can do both.
Oh wow.
Oh, he can do both, and he's just gonna go to the face. 13 to the face. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah. So this game might be over real quick.
That hurt.
Real quick.
That hurt a lot.
That 13 damage is rough. Hoping for a Vaporize. Actually is the right choice here. Oh wait, no. Yeah, he needs to actually kill.
He can't.
Yeah, he doesn't know Tiberius has double True Silver in hand. Ooh, and the Rubbins. Oh, that's 16, 20 damage to the face. If he had 1 more mana to find a Vaporize, or to play the Vaporize, it would have been good. It would have been real good, but that aggro Paladin too strong. Paladin, still also one of the best classes to play on ladder right now. In general, I mean, I have resilient minions, very strong weapons, good spells. I
haven't taken the time to learn how to play Paladin just yet. You know, I last patch I was all about the Murloc, but that just fell off so heavily. Let's super hard. Let's take away old Murkai. You know, why Blizzard? Why?
Sad day.
And we got Mage versus Warrior.
So I don't know what Tiberius is running on Warrior. Looks like he made. Yep. Okay. There's Patron. So Patron, arguably one of the most difficult Warrior decks to play overall. It's a really skill-intensive deck because you have a lot of choices to make. You have to decide how you want to play out your games. Usually back in the day, like with Patron, before it was nerfed, had a lot of stall mechanics. So you would see basically a lot of games go to fatigue. Interestingly enough, so Tiberius having the War Axe, getting a nice free trade on the Mana Worm. Pilliwinks, unfortunately, not able to really play anything there because he's just gonna die to the War Axe. At this point now, he's just waiting for 3 to be able to play probably the Flame Waker, and go from there and see what kind of comes of see what comes of the rest of the game. Playing Flame Waker on 3. It's not going to die right away. Fortunately for Pilliwinks, Tiberius doesn't have. Oh, never mind. Drew it. Blood to Ichor. Didn't have the 1 damage at first, and now he's got it. He's going to get a good trade on there, and another Fiery War Axe to follow it up. Pilliwinks isn't going to be really able to play anything right now. Oh,
he got
actually,
the clutch Arcane Blast, but he's instead going to be doing the Forgotten
The
Torch.
Face?
Yep, probably triggering he's triggering the Roaring Torch. Just trying to get that.
It's interesting. So I'm wondering if Pilliwinks is playing Yogg-Saron in his deck. Are we gonna get to praise Yogg at all today? I really hope we are.
I really hope we were. And when I saw this deck, a couple rounds ago, I thought that Yogg was going to show his face. Especially with the Catalyst's Tome and the Double Flame Waker. You put a lot of cheaper spells in your deck for that one. I run that too. It's a lot of fun.
The odd thing too, though, about the last match that I noticed is Antonidas. A lot of Antonidas has been cut from a lot of the decks. Yogg-Saron is
he's hard
arguably
to
just better. Weirdly enough. You're mostly, if you're playing Yogg-Saron, you're wanting to dump as many spells out of your hand as you can. You're not really wanting to hold back on your 1-mana spells to value off of Antonidas. So you're just dumping all those out. So you're not playing, if you're playing Yogg, you're probably not playing Antonidas. So we'll have to see if Pilliwinks decided to make it hybrid and just kind of have a backup strategy with Antonidas or Yogg-Saron. Could be interesting to see here. Now, the choices that Tyberius has for his deck, he has Charge, so he is going for that OTK style. He's gonna charge his guy? Question mark? Okay. Oh, and he gets a solid Battle Rage. Okay, so, he's only gonna get to draw 2 off of that, but that's not the worst. Considering you just did a decent amount of damage to the mage. 7 mana, probably. Oh, yeah, he's absolutely going to go ahead and... I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know why he ran out the Acolyte of Pain. We usually, one-draw Acolyte of Pains don't feel too good. He is going to get that... It's going to get Fiery War Axe down really hard. Tiberius is going to get to draw possibly 4 cards here, though. That's pretty solid. 4 cards for 4 mana is not bad. And basically, he could then potentially Blood Warriors back. So he could just go, he could kill Pilliwinks' Acolyte of Pain, go, face? Oh, face there, okay. And then he can draw, double draw, and then value by playing Whirlwind again. He's probably not going to want to be playing Whirlwind too much.
Well, and I would figure he would want to save his Whirlwind for the Grim Patron number 2. And the Inner Rage.
And the Inner Rage. I would have thought he wanted to save his Charge. Oddly enough, I would have thought he wanted to save that for the patrons, but I guess not. That's fine, I suppose.
Usually you want to throw your Charge on something that's a little healthier. Yeah, 4 health or more.
If you're on the OTK plan,
gotcha.
You don't really care too much that if it's super healthy, but you're in a spot, it's an interesting choice that he decided to use it where he did. Not going to be doing anything in terms of sticking damage on the board. He is making it, though, so that the patrons cannot double. They cannot split if they were to trade anywhere. But the Whirlwind going to do a lot of work here. Getting a 3rd draw off the Acolyte of Pain, which is insane. 3 draw Acolytes are really good. He's going to get to draw a lot of cards. Yogg-Saron. What? Tiberius is playing Yogg-Saron
in a warrior deck.
In his warrior deck. So I'm wondering if he's going to try and purposefully praise Yogg by just not...
That would be silly.
I want to see it. I just want to see someone just kill someone, whether it's themselves or their opponent, with Yogg-Saron today. I just want to see it. The options, though, that Pilliwinks has to try and salvage this game is... That'll help. The Water Elemental will definitely help quite a bit. So, there's going to be no free trades there. Ragnaros... Slamming, where's the draw? Slamming to draw another card and another Whirlwind. Jeez. So he's gonna trade into the Water Elemental, which is fine. And then he's gonna go Bloodhoof and then Ravaging Ghoul, which is also fine.
Yeah, saving the
so
Whirlwind.
I think we may be able to see. We we may be able to praise Yogg this game.
Well,
I'm hoping that we can praise Yogg. I mean, he's got one spot on the board left, and hopefully he just doesn't die here. There's
Pilliwinks is not finding his flame strike.
So there's 15 damage on the board. If Pilliwinks uses the Roaring Torch to kill the 5/5, which is fine, he'll go, and then if he has any other burn that he wants to use, he will do that as well. He could probably drop this down to, let's see,
he's going to do this instead. He's going to need to put down his the spray damage. Roaring Torch taking out the 5/5.
I don't think he's going to want to put down the Flame Waker because that's just potential for more patrons to spawn. I think so it looks like, interestingly enough, though, he is going to opt to go
Face.
So he's going to, he's going to ping. Oddly enough, yeah, he fireballed the face, and I'm not sure why there. I mean, I would have just rather had killed one of the patrons at that point. But are we going to praise Yogg right now? So he's going to go face, and do we praise Yogg? We don't praise Yogg. Sadness. Going for the safe kill.
Yeah, Yogg wasn't necessary for this particular.
I want to see. I just want to see Yogg survive. The sadness.
Well,
Tiberius going up 2-2. Very strong comeback. Are we looking at a comeback king in King Tiberius? Jumping into the next game, Mage versus the Priest. So, Priest, the deck that Tiberius had lost, he hasn't won with yet. Interestingly enough. Okay, so the Priest is an OTK Priest because there's a Divine Spirit.
Yep.
You don't run Divine Spirit without Inner Fire.
Correct.
Probably. So, we're looking at an OTK Priest here. Slow start, though, for Tiberius, unfortunately. Very slow start. It also looks like a really slow start for Pilliwinks as well. Just hero powering back and forth. Looks like that's probably all that's going to happen here as well. I don't think Tiberius... Oh, Tiberius is going to opt to go with the Acolyte of Pain, try and get a little bit of damage in early. That's probably going to get 2 draws, if I had to guess. Nope, that's going to get 1 draw. Cultist, Cult Sorcerer, very good, doing some spell damage, and then not doing the spell to kill it. Okay. You missed your chance. You missed your chance. So, yeah, I mean, so he could have used the Arcane Blast there to actually just straight up kill it. Now he's in a spot where he's going to have to... I mean, he's going to be able to kill it now, but it's going to be a 2-draw Acolyte instead of a 1-draw Acolyte, and that doesn't feel good at all. Flame Waker going to come down, and the Arcane Blast going to go ahead, deal with the Acolyte, and then get 2 free juggles there on the Flame Waker into the face. Not bad, but Tiberius drew the Inner Fire, so he's got the combo kind of set up, like the finisher combo pieces in his hand. He did draw an Acolyte of Pain, or sorry, he did draw a Shadow Word Pain, which can eventually go through to take out the Flame Waker if need be. Playing down a Holy Champion, just going to be healing probably quite a bit here in the next turn. Fireball coming out though, taking out the Holy Champion and getting in that base damage as to be expected from that mage. It's gonna be really interesting to see how Tiberius, how he deals with this board state. He does get a Holy Nova, which isn't bad. He's running his opponent down on cards, but Cabala's Torm going to kind of fix that situation for Pilliwinks there.
He should have played the Worm first.
Yeah. I think he's maybe trying to bait out Pain, and it looks like that does work there. He's going to play an Orshar Cleric, Power Word Shield it. Solid start. He may end up trying to go big on that. Fireball, though, not going to be great for him. Ooh, Doomsayer. Interesting, Doomsayer. Okay, so there are some builds that do run like a singular Doomsayer, maybe. It's surprisingly, Doomsayer usually is a card only seen in like a tempo mage or in a freeze mage or like a control deck, but it's actually just used to generate tempo off of like your opponent just not playing things, and generally they're usually not able to deal with it.
I'm surprised that he threw down the Effigy secret on on a turn where only Doomsayer will die.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot to deal with it. To do with it. I don't know. He got the effigy, unfortunately, just because it happened to come from the Kabbalist tome. But it looks like OTK, or not. It's not going to be OTK anymore. But at least he's going to get some value out of this 10/10. This is huge. Polymorph Boar. Not expecting Polymorph Boar though. That's going to be really painful. For that 10/10, and I don't think Tiberius actually can come back from that. I mean, yes, he has Justicar True Heart and a heal next turn, which heals him for 4, which is pretty good. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, Tiberius is running out of steam very quickly. So I mean, he's gonna have a couple. Pilliwinks gonna have like a couple solid minions on the board that can benefit from spells. And he's got 3 solid spells in his hand right now currently, so I think the option probably here, he may want to go Justicar True Heart heal, just to try and stave off some of the damage and try and live a little bit longer.
And the nice thing about Justicar True Heart is that, it buffs your hero power, but there's a 6/3 on the board. It is bait. It is almost a taunt in and of itself.
Exactly,
it doesn't take very much to kill it, but you have to.
You have to deal with it at some point. Does look like, though, face is gonna be the place for Pilliwinks. Going hard on the paint, trying to just close out the game as quickly as he can, not even caring. Maybe not caring? Not even caring. Not even caring about the Justicar True Heart. I think he's more so concerned that I'm going to draw 2 cards next turn. He can only maybe deal with one of my guys. He has to trade his 6/3 into my 4/3. He can only heal, so he's going to go back to 7 here when he goes to heal. Oh no, he's going to go to 12. That's fine. 12.
Well, and 12.
And 12 is still respectable. I mean, so 12 is out of one-shot range, like out of complete one-shot range.
12 is actually double fireball.
12 is double fireball, but we definitely saw one fireball already.
And a Cavalry. But at the same time, it's still
you do have the Roaring Torch, the Roaring Torch procs from the deck that could be the nail in the coffin. Unfortunately, not drawing into anything of note, but double health is really good. Double health is really, really good.
So Tiberius coming back from the brink from...
Is he entombing? No, he's not. Why? What? Okay, so maybe he'll entomb... Maybe he's going to just choose to entomb the Azure Drake or the Thorison that happens to just decide to show up. 7 damage, though, just came up from the Roaring Torch. Pilliwinks going hard on the burn strats. Putting his opponent down to 5. So now his opponent... Tiberius is gonna go, if he heals here, hero powers, he's gonna go back up to 9. So it's gonna basically about half the damage that was dealt to him.
Converts the Mana Worm and entombs the dragon?
Converts the dragon and then entombs the dragon?
Do we just not care about the Mana Worm?
I don't think
you would need one small burn spell to end the
So
game.
Pilliwinks has 2 cards in hand, and he's going back up to 9. The only things that realistically right now can kill him would be Fireball, or Fireball would kill him, and the Roaring Torch procs would kill him. But other than that, I mean, he's got the freeze, so that's going to kind of put a kibosh on maybe dealing with things. The death is going to deal with the Thorison. So not the worst there. So the death deals with the Thorison. He's gonna heal himself. Hopefully he heals himself. Putting on the Azure. Oh, he's not even gonna heal? Question mark. He's just gonna try and draw a card.
He's gonna try and draw.
Interesting. So he drew the Azure. Maybe the Azure Drake that he entombed. But this could spell just straight death for Tiberius, depending on how these juggle or how the missiles land. It just spells straight death. Period. It doesn't even matter how they land.
He's got a hero power and a Mana Worm.
The Mana Worm and the hero power is going to take it out. And one of the juggles did it. He didn't even have the hero power. So there we go. Tiberius losing that game. Very, very interesting game. very interesting game. It looked like Tiberius was kind of starting to make a comeback in the game. He was kind of ahead on hand, getting ahead on board. He made some interesting choices on where he wanted to trade or what he wanted to do in combat. So that may have cost him the game. But that just kind of goes to show how resilient and how strong Tempo Mage actually is. It's one of those decks that's just you have a lot of sustain going with the deck.